Hello everyone, and you're so much welcome to today's tutorial, and I'm still your shoemaking made easy tutor Odurole Mojibola. And guess what, today it's going to be 3-in-1 design. Yes, when I mean 3-in-1, in just one video I'm going to be showing you how to create 3 amazing designs, and I'm going to be particular about children today. So we're going to be doing either 2 girls or 1 boy, or 2 boys and 1 girl. So if you love to create a footwear for your daughter or son at the comfort of your home, I need you to sit right with me and let's go through this. Now, all we do on this channel is we make shoemaking easy and simple for you. Of course, what we want to do is reduce your family expenses on footwear, at the same time create new stream of income for you, and overall increase, of course, our economy by actually alleviating poverty, because we believe skill acquisition is key to poverty alleviation. So all I need you to do for me is sit back, get a cup of hot drink. It's quite cold here in Nigeria, so I think a cup of hot drink, tea, coffee will do, and I'm gonna be right back. Enough of getting worried about how to brand your footwear. So many people have asked me, how much will it cost me to actually brand my footwear? Now, I need you to know that the size of whatever kind of metal stamp you want to buy will determine what price this will be. Now, majority of these sizes that you have on the screen are just 20,500 naira. And this cover up both shipping and of course every other thing. Will you like to actually order for one? Please send me a WhatsApp message now. All right, the first one we are going to be looking at is, of course, the one we have right on the screen. I've already taught on how to create this particular shape, and then of course you can see the design. You have a round object, interjected together, and from here we have a V shape. So if you want to really know about this, of course I'll make sure that the link is at the end of this video, or right on the screen as you watch, as you go along. You will be able to see and actually click it. Definitely it will be at the end of this video. So what you want to do now is you want to pay attention to this part of this design, knowing fully well that each of them will be suspended in here. Now, for example, if you are suspending this in here, you know it is definitely not possible to suspend it in there. So you want to first of all check out your love shape, of course this curve part, and make sure that by the time you suspend this part, it will perfectly fit in. How do I achieve that? Let's go right into it. So if I want this to be able to go into this one perfectly well, let me show you what I will actually do. I will first of all try to draw this out. Let me draw this here. Now after drawing it, because I want to be able to suspend it. In short, if you are going to actually, if it's this you want to adjust, let's assume it's this same part you want to adjust and not another one. What you need to do is you want to bring it in a bit, the way you will want it to be suspended into it. Just bring it in. If you just want it this way, you can actually do it that way. So what you do is let it come in. If you just want it this way, so just carve it in. Make sure you allow it to balance up with the other side. Let it balance up. You understand? So much so that each time you place it inside it, it will stay perfectly well. You understand what I'm trying to say? And you want to also ensure that the position of your love shape is okay. Now if you look at this is the way it is right now. I might need to actually place this, like draw a line here to make sure that it's on a straight line, because I really need that straight line when I am arranging it on themselves. Please permit me to check well. Then I'll come to this side and do the same thing, because you want to arrange it perfectly well. So when I am placing this on top, I am trying to place it appropriately well. I'm sure you can see that it goes in that way, so I can easily draw it. So So you can see them suspended into themselves that way. The same thing is applicable to any other love shape that you pick up to actually create for these, beautiful love in, baby girl sandal pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to trace this out. Of course, you can first of all trace the original one out before you do this, but that notwithstanding, I'm sure you have seen what I've done, because you want to first of all trace the original one that you have adjusted out before you begin to interlock them like this. So please don't forget that. So I'm just going to go ahead. Now don't forget that it doesn't have to be this wide. You can control the size that you want, the size of your love shape. It can be smaller, it can be bigger, it can be wider. It depends on what you really want. But I'm going to suggest you make sure that you align it properly well. So you can see what we have. So you can imagine if this continues like that and we have a very long one right here. So basically what you are going to do after you have cut out, each of your shape, I mean different colors of leather, just like we have in the picture. If you are going to be doing that, it means you have to use that same love shape to cut different type or in different colors. So when you want to make your arrangements, make sure that you have a straight edge, which is going to serve as your guide when you want to line it, because it was the point at which they were lining the baby girl sandal that it came together this way. You understand? It wasn't like this was not what they did. So by the time I place this first, I will arrange the next one, slot it in between here like this. You understand? So you do this, you move to the next one and do the same thing. So you are going to arrange it until it is as long, you understand, as what you need for the baby girl size. You understand? So by the time you do all of that, ensure you keep maintaining your edge so that all of them will be on a straight. Even if it's not straight, you understand, the design will still be fine, but at least make sure that you try to maintain it. So when you find out that it's as long as what you want, don't forget that you must have applied your contact cement adhesive on this side as well as on this side, so that you can arrange them like this. So as you are arranging them, it's staying there. So when you are through, all you want to do is just stitch at the middle, just to hold it down there, and then you are good to go for the front design. Now for the back pattern, I've taught us how to create back pattern on this channel, and I believe by now, and if you're watching me for the first time, so I'm going to suggest that you let me know in the comment section and I will guide you, share with you the link on how you can actually create the back pattern for this particular design. So we have come to the end of the first one. Let's go into the second one. I just hope we are going to be able to get to the third one. Anyway, let's go into the second design for today. Of course, we are going to be picking a baby boy right away. I am not just called the Shoemaking Made Easy tutor for fun. I am going to make sure that this Christmas season is a sweet one for everyone. See, even if you cannot afford to get to the market and buy a sweet heel for your children, I am telling you that this shankless insole for heel is a perfect one. No struggle, no dazzle, no razzle, no rasplatas. Can you see the glass heel? Come on! It's so beautiful and cute. I mean, any size you want, just let me know. If you don't want to make heel for them, probably you prefer wedge, I got you covered. Can you see the cute wedges that we have? Just tell me their sizes. The amazing thing is that it comes with a template. You don't have to be struggling, how will I cut the insole? All the template comes with it. Hey! So for the second, baby boy sandal that we have on the screen, I'm going to actually be using this particular size. This is actually about size 25. Yeah. It's about 25. The size is about 25. This is for about 2-year-old. Yes, some 20 months too can actually wear this. It depends on the child's feet. You can use their age to just judge their size now. So the first thing you want to first of all measure is the center design. If you look at the sandal on the screen, you find out that it has, you know, like the ash color, I don't know what color you want to call it, or gray, which is the strap at the middle. So it's a straight strap that you have right here, although at the front here it was actually, you know, interlocked with the blue, you know, leather at the front here. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I want to take the measurements of that center. I know somebody will be wondering, so how do I know where to start the measurement? For example, if you are actually using their feet to take the measurements, let me show you how you should take their measurements. All right, let's say this is the sample of the feet that you have. Probably you don't have a shoe last and you want to still create something for your baby boy or girl at home, and it's actually this style. Now if you look at their big toe and the small one, that is what this one actually, you know, means. It means this is the big toe and this is the next one. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be placing this particular, you know, measurement tape right here. Please, can you see where I'm placing it? I'm not placing it here. No, don't place it here, because by the time you place the front design, it will be covering a whole, you know, lot of their foot, like covering it like this way. So you want to make sure that you are starting from where their, you know, the first strap is going to be covering. Although you may not understand that, but I just want you to follow me like this. What you should do is just start from here. You understand? Just start from here. Just start from this particular side. Now if you don't know where to use as a demarcation, you can decide to use where this part of their leg, where it ends. It depends on the child's leg. Like my own, the leg I have here is not really very long. I mean, the big toe is not long. Some have, you know, quite a long toe, and you really need to be very careful, you know, of course, with that. But it must definitely cover their foot, you know, cover their foot, like cover the toe a bit. You understand? Because that design is going to be starting from there. So you want to measure from here, place it here like I said, and then you come to their ankle. Now it's going to stop around here. It's going to stop around here. Can you see where I stop? I mean, for this her own size, she wears size 29. For this her own size, yes, she wears size 29. I mean, when I'm creating a footwear for her, and then I want to make sure that she can wear it for over 6 months, I pick up size 29. But perfectly well is size 28 that is sizing her. You understand? So when you are creating for a child, you don't want to create exactly their size. You understand? You don't want to create exactly their size. So like I said, just place right here. You understand? You can use this as a benchmark. You understand? You can make it quite under it, then, you know, align it here and then bring it right here. So for me, I would say at this spot, you understand, somewhere around here on their foot is perfectly fine for that. If you don't want it to reach there, you can actually stop, you know, around 9.5, because this line here is 9, this one under 10 is 10, so you can stop at 9.5. But for me, I would definitely stop at 10, because at the end of the day, by the time I place my center, now this one is not a size, because this is actually smaller than our leg, so it will be somewhere here. Trust me, it's not going to do anything to their foot, because there's still going to be a strap that will be covered, that will be passing. So placing it there is not actually a problem at all. But if you don't want it to be there, you can actually place it this way and let it look like this. But I can guarantee that in no time it will not size the child again. So I believe with this you should be able to know where to position it if you are using a child's feet. All right, so from what we have here, you now understand how to actually take the measurement. If you're actually using a shoe last, you can actually come, you know, as far as this. And if you check this is actually about 2.5 centimeter away from this point. So like you measure like 2.5 or 2 centimeter away from, you know, this opening, and then measure. So if you measure it for this particular size, I'm having, you know, 7.5. That's what I have here. 7.5. Now I don't want to use 8 because I don't want it to go in too much for the baby, so I'm going to be using this 7.5. That's why I was showing you, you know, that part of their foot. Now that is the first thing. The next thing you also want to consider is what width will I be using. Most times the best way to know what width to use for them is to experiment with different sizes of strap. Now, the first strap I cut here is actually 3 centimeter wide. You just want to experiment with your pattern. You don't have to cut your leather to do this experiment. Now, let me place this. Like I told us, now this I told us when I was showing us the feet of the baby girl that if you want to place it, you want to place it in such a way that it is where this strap in front will be placed, which is the blue strap according to our picture. So the blue strap is going to be around here. It's going to be around here. You understand? So by the time I pick up the second one, okay, I think this is a bit longer, but this is actually 3 centimeter. Don't forget I said this is 3 centimeter. The width is 3 centimeter. You can take this measurement to know the length to use. Make sure you have extra 3 centimeter under here, which will serve as your lacing allowance. You come to this other side, this is 12, and then you add 3, which is 15. I think it's expedient to add as much as 3 centimeter. And if you want to use inch, you can just add like 1 inch or 1.5 inch. Now for the second part, all you need to do is to place. Now what I did was, because if you look at the design, you'll find out that the 2 straps are actually having the same width. They are having the same width. The only thing I observe is that the white has like, it has a stitch in between it, but 2 of them are the same width. So what I did was I cut 3 centimeter wide strap. I just cut 3 centimeter wide because I want to use it to explain to you how to experiment with the width you should use for an appropriate size. I don't want somebody saying, if I want to create for somebody that is wearing 29, so what width am I going to use? No, I don't want such questions. So that's the reason I'm trying to explain this to us. Though somebody will be asking, so why did you start with 3 centimeter? Now, it doesn't matter what you want to start with. Let me tell you that. You can decide to start with 1 centimeter. If you place it and you find out that it's too small, you cut another one, until you achieve a perfect shape. The most important part of any kind of footwear you want to create is your pattern cutting. If you can get your pattern right, then every other thing will fall in place perfectly well. So now that I said I use 3 and then I'm actually using 3 at the back as well, let's arrange it. By the time you arrange, you to use yourself, you will see it that it is actually too close. Now if you consider this and this, it looks perfectly well. If you want to create a design that just has 2 straps, one here and one here, then make probably a strap at the back here. You can actually use this particular dimension for this kind of size 25. If you ask me, you can use 3 and 3 and go along with it. And if you don't want to use 3 and 3, you can actually use like 2.5 centimeter here and use 3 at the back. You understand? Then you attach your strap. I'm sure you must have seen those designs that has strap here. Some people even use elastic band for the back here just for the child to be able to wear conveniently. Or you can also use a buckle strap. I believe that is another design on its own. So with what I have here, if I'm going to introduce my back pattern, I want you to see what it's going to look like. Can you see that they are already affecting themselves by the time I introduce the back pattern? Except you want your design to look like this. But if you don't want it to look like this, definitely you want to actually work on the width that you have right here. What am I going to do? I'm going to try to reduce my width one after the other. So what I want to do here is I want to reduce this to about 2 centimeter, and let's see what it's going to look like. I can actually start with 2.5, then go ahead and then check what it looks like, then go to 2 again and check what it looks like. It's better you have a wide strap where you can actually reduce as you check than to have a smaller strap when you have to cut a new one at every point in time. So what I'm going to do to this strap is I'm going to be dividing it into 3. I mean, the first division is going to be for 2.5 and the next is going to be for 2. So I will cut through for the 2.5 first, then check if it's going to be perfect, then go to 2 again. I hope you get what I'm trying to do right here. So let's reduce by 2.5 first and see what it looks like. So let's trim off the 0.5, the first one. You understand? I'm going to also do the same thing to this one. Yeah. So I'm trimming off as well the 0.5 for this as well. So with what I have here, let's go right into it. I have this at the front. Don't forget. This is going to be here. And this is going to be the next one. So it means I can easily adjust this forward. That's what it means. I can adjust this forward and still position this perfectly well. So let me check if my back pattern is still going to be cooperating or not. Now I can actually decide to use this way. Another thing you can also decide to do is to reduce, what you have as your back pattern. Now, this is what I normally do. Instead of having to cut a totally new back pattern, I am going to just fold it in this way, and I am going to place it right there. So if I fold it that way, I will find out that, you see, there are more space, right here. So it means that what I'm just going to do is I want to also adjust my back pattern. Of course, you don't want your back pattern to be too small. Please, I need you to know that it shouldn't be too small. It shouldn't be too small. For me, if you ask me, I will say this is quite small, but you can still work with this actually. But for me, I would love it to come a bit forward this way. Like it should be like this, since we are considering the ankle, because your ankle, the two ankles are the major points that I normally use, for the positioning of my back pattern. So if we have this way, and we are having this at the front, so we might not need to actually adjust anything again. So this is my amazing way of checking different widths. So if you are working with, let's say 27, 28, you can decide to actually use the 3 centimeter, because that will definitely, their length will be longer and there will be enough space. So with this, we have enough space. We also have here, so it means we are good to go with this particular size. The 2.5 is okay. If you still decide to actually reduce it to 2, it's still going to work perfectly well. Now let's go to the strap at the center. What do I do to my strap at the center? If you check the design, you'll find out that the strap at the center, this side was actually opened for this to actually pass through and stay on top of it. We are definitely going to also do the same thing. Now, before you do that, you want to first of all place this and be sure that, okay, when you place it, you have SS, and then you want to place this right here. So by the time you place this right here, you are going to be making use of your pen to know exactly the width of this, because it must go in perfectly well. Now you can decide to draw a line here and draw another line right here. So now with this drawing, I'm going to locate, the center of this, because I want it to be at the center so that it doesn't cut off one side of the design. Let me try to zoom it in so that you can see this. So from what we have here, please ignore this line. Don't forget it was the 2 and the 2.5 line that we were intending to remove initially. So from what we have here, this is 2.5 width. I need the center, that is 1.25. I think I've taught us how to locate where 1.25 is. This is 1, this is 1.1, this is 1.2, and in between is where we have our 1.25. So this is 1.25. I'm sure you can see that. So I just want to draw a line to demarcate that, because I want it to be centralized. That is just the reason. So I'm going to place my ruler right here. You can see I place it at 0.5. I'm going to mark a 0.5 here and a 0.5 here. I'm going to also do the same thing on this side, is 0.5 and also is 0.5 here. Please, I need you to follow me. I don't want this to be too wide and I don't want it to be too small. So I may decide not to pick exactly the same line, maybe just move in a bit. Please note, it doesn't have to be as wide as this, but I just want it to, perfectly align. Please, I'm going to go ahead and punch those sides, and then I'm going to open it up. So I'm going to punch. It's not by force. If you don't have this kind of punch, you can get these ones. They are a bit cheaper, of course, cheaper than this other one. The reason I'm punching is because I don't want it to be cutting off while inside there. So you can see what I have right here. So I'm going to use my utility knife to cut through. Please, this is one of the basic tools you must have if you want to enjoy your shoemaking process. Please get one for yourself. It's done in such a way that you can easily replace the blade even if you finish all the blade. You don't have to buy all the time. I've been using this for years now. Yes, I've been using it for years. In short, this is, if I'm not mistaken, it should be over 4 or 5 years that I've been using this. All I do is just replace the blade. So now we have this opening. I'm just going to place this in here and it will come out here. Can you see what it looks like? So let me use the white part so that it can be more obvious. So you can see what I have right there. So the next one is definitely going to be this. Before we now, okay, I'm not sure you can see what I'm showing you right now. So from what we have, you know, on our baby boy sandal design, we are going to be having this as the next one. Then our strap for the back pattern is going to be inserted into this place. All right, so now that we have this right here, you can see it holding it down there. There is actually an accessory here. You can also attach an accessory if you so desire, so that it doesn't, you know, pull off or, you know, just move in one direction or the other that you do not want. So from what we have here, we are going to go ahead and position the next one. So let's hold, I'm going to try to hold this down first. So the next one you want to know how to position is this one. So this is what you are going to do at this point. You're going to place this like this. You understand? Don't just place this way, except the design looks like this, but our design has, you know, a bit of space in between. So you are going to place it on top of it. Now somebody will be saying, if I want to use my baby's leg, how do I, you know, arrange all of this on their feet? Definitely, you will definitely have to patiently use their feet to actually position it. Although I want you to know that as long as you have actually gotten the width and all of this, you don't have any issues with positioning, because by the time you have already positioned, like this one, you have positioned this, which is the first one, you don't need their feet to do this, except when you want to know where the center is, you know, like I did, just to draw the line. Except that, and the reason you need to do that is because the distance between here, from here to here, is different from here to here. That's just the reason you have to do that. So now let's go to this particular part. You want to just, you know, place this in such a way that at least there is still an allowance for the back pattern to still be able to, you know, come into play. You understand? You want to do that. So let's quickly do that here now. So you can use their feet for that one. Just try to place it. Probably when they are fast asleep, you can actually experiment that. And if you have, you know, a very patient boy or girl, because some of them can, you know, they are excited that you are making footwear for them. They will just stay and allow you to, you know, do what you want to do with their feet. So just do it patiently. You don't have to be angry with them. You want to play with them and make this fun too. It's very important, especially when you're working with children. You want to make it fun too. It's not easy to actually position their leg and say, yeah, sit down, let me check it. Don't think it's going to be fun, no. But you have to make it fun. The way you make it look is what will make them see it as fun as well. So I need you to bear that in mind. So from this now, I'm going to be picking where to actually punch again. So I'm going to be, you know, the first thing I want to do here is I want to know where it's going to stop, where my punching is going to stop. Those are the two lines I'm trying to mark here. I want to mark that. So now that I know it, the question I want to ask myself is, you know, how far do I want it to be from the edge? Probably I just want it to be around the 0.5. I will just pick up my ruler and mark a 0.5 on this side. Come to this side and also mark the same 0.5. If you want it to be more, you can decide to, you know, adjust that 0.5. And this side too will be 0.5. Don't forget, I'm going to be joining them together like this and joining them together like this. So the same thing I did here, I will punch this, and open it as well. It's still the same process. So let me see how I can easily do that without having to, you know, remove this. Let's see if I can do that. So if you are using the other punch, I need you to know that what you are going to be doing to it is just for you to use hammer. Just use hammer for that. So I want to open, and open. So I'm going to go ahead and still cut. If you haven't subscribed, I need you to go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to like. So for this one, we are going to be inserting from here. It will come out on this side and it's going to go this way. I'm sure you can see what we have. So for the back, for this particular part as well, you're also going to place, you know, the strap for that side. You're going to place it there and also use it to, you know, pick the position you need. You want to use their width at all times to position it. So I'm also going to punch. I'm just aligning it with what I used here, like the 0.5. Make sure that this is also a 0.5 away from this edge, so that you don't have a lot of unnecessary cutting off over time. So I want to open this. I want to also open this. So you can see what I have right here. So let me quickly go right in there. So you want to adjust this so that at least the length will be enough. So you want to put this. You also want to work on this. Let me work on this. Let me work on the front first before we go to the second part. I'm just trying to so this will be attached this way. So I'm just going to hold it down too using my tape. It's just for us to be able to see what I'm up to right here. You can see what I have here. So now my back pattern. So it's going to be going in, you know. I need to open this to be able to do that. So I'm going to put this in. That's going to be my strap. You see it's cutting it off because it's actually a leather that I'm inserting right there. Okay, no, it's not supposed to go that way. It's supposed to go this way. Just place it gently. So now let's go back to this. So you can see what I have right here. So let's fix our back pattern here. Don't forget this is going to be suspended here and our buckle is going to be right here. What do you think about our sandal? Can you see that we have a sandal right here? So this is staying this way. Don't forget I said I was going to reduce this, and then you can see what we have at the end of the day. So I need you to know that you can actually achieve this with patience. You don't want to be in a hurry. And if you're creating this for an adult, just follow the same process. Like I said, make it the width wide and try to experiment with the strap. I'm not sure we're going to be able to go into the third one. This is actually a long one. And of course, in my next video, I will ensure that I actually had the third one that we are supposed to look at. If you want me to actually create, you know, the full upper and how to last this, please let me know in the comment section. Please note, if I do not get as much as at least 20 comments on me creating the upper and showing us how to fully last it, I won't be doing that tutorial. if I don't get 20 different comments before, you know, in 3 days from the day I uploaded this video, because that is what will make it easy for anyone to be able to connect back to this one. So let me know in the comment section, do you want us to do a full video on how I'm going to create the upper, how I'm going to position it, and all of that for the design? So go ahead and let me know in the comment section. And of course, the back pattern, like I said, I will ensure that the video is at the end. Of course, the love shape too, I will make sure that those two videos are at the end of the screen. Please pay attention to the end of the video so that you can just click the screen and go ahead and watch them. I'm still your shoemaking made easy tutor, Odurole Mojibola. Thank you for sticking till now. I'm going to see you next time. Bye.